Hi, Dr. Fred, TMT. Hey, I'm just like you, a spirit on a human journey here to fulfill a soul purpose. And I help people tap into that innate power, become conscious of the divinity within them, so you can fulfill your soul purpose too, the whole reason why you're here in this life. Now, I have a question for you. Are you a water walker or are you a boat stayer? What, Fred, what the heck do you mean? Okay, I'm going to use a story from the Bible as a metaphor to fulfilling your soul purpose. So in Matthew 14:22, apostles are in a boat. It says the wind is boisterous. There's wind blowing. The waves are tossing them around. Imagine being in a boat, wind's blowing, hairs everywhere, right? You're being tossed around. And at a distance, Jesus is standing on the water. And they say, is that a ghost? Now, how far does a person have to be that you already know that you don't recognize them? Right? That's at least 50 yards, at least, right? So that's a ways. So Jesus says, yes, it's me. And then Peter, there's 12 people in the boat. Peter says, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you. I'm paraphrasing. Command me to come. And Jesus says, come. So imagine that mindset. You got 12 people in there. One person, just one, says, if that's you, command me. So what's he really saying? I have the faith that if I step out of that boat, that I can come to you. I'm going to walk on water, right? So one person, that's like your vision. You see the vision and you're pulled by your heart because 11 other people get stuck in their mind. What do they say? You can't go out there. There's 11 other people metaphorically in your life. Don't do that. You're going to drown. You can't do that. Why don't you just stay where you're at? Right? Keep the job. Man, you have security, get a job, buy a house, do all these things. But you're being pulled past your mind because your heart and your spirit is here for a reason. And I'm being pulled to take that step. So he steps out of the boat and then a miracle happens. So here's the question. Who's it a miracle to? If he knew that he was going to be able to go to Jesus, the only people that thought it was a miracle were the people watching. The 11 people thought it was a miracle, but is it a miracle? Is a miracle a miracle if you really expect it? Here's the thing. You're here to fulfill a purpose. It's why you're here. A spirit incarnated in human form to do something and contribute to the lives of others. But you got to do one thing, just one thing, right? Have the faith to take one step. Because if you just take one step, see, then God, the universe, can direct you and create a miracle. Now, if you're sitting there thinking in the boat, well, I think I can do this, and I know I should do that, and here's this, they don't work. It doesn't work. There aren't miracles with just thinking, right? Faith without action is dead. So what's it mean? You got to take the first step. So you're always going to be called to step out of the boat, gang. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? If we don't practice stepping, getting out of the boat now, how are you ever going to get there? Now, guess what? Peter did not take water walking lessons, right? Now, you want certainty? Well, I better take 12 lessons on how to walk on water before I step out of the boat in a storm. That's not what happened. What he did, he forgot what he did. He forgot about the conditions, didn't forget about it, ignored the conditions, stepped out anyway. The question is, what are you going to do in your life when you're trying to fulfill your purpose and then you get a diagnosis, or there's an unexpected divorce, or the economy changes, or maybe you have a lawsuit, or you just have fear because you're being pulled to step out of the boat and change your life and maybe change the whole direction and path of what you're doing to fulfill something that's bigger, that's pulling you in your heart. Are you going to stay in the boat? Or are you going to step out of the boat? Are you going to walk on water, or are you going to stay in the boat? So this is a whole metaphor, right? So he's walking, and then all of a sudden, what's Peter do? He looks around, and he goes, crap, man, the wind's blowing. All of a sudden, these waves, these big waves, what's he start to do? He starts to sink. And then he says, Lord, help me. How many times, right? Deepak Chopra, people turn to spirituality when they're tired of suffering. So how many times are we tired of saying, Lord, okay, now I'll get it. I promise now, if you just do this for me, right? So he turns, he says, Lord, save me. Okay, Jesus puts out his hand. Man, now remember in the beginning, he was so far, they didn't even recognize him. Now, he's an arm's distance away. Look, this far. You've walked maybe 60 yards and you're this far. How many times have you had faith and then you look around and you panic? How many times did you feel the wind and you panic? How many times did you give up? How many times did you run out of emotional stamina, not physical stamina? How many times were challenges weighing you down because you didn't see the purpose? Because you're looking around outside yourself at your environment rather than doing what? Being focused on the vision. Hey gang, the path to your vision is narrow. Remember the stop sign one? Right? Do you remember that one? It's not wide. Remember the stop sign? Whoa, I can't look over here. Remember the stop sign? I got to stay focused. That's what Jesus in this metaphor represents. Your vision, your divinity, your reason that you're here. Right? So we stay focused. Jesus puts out his hand and says, "Are you of little faith?" What's that mean? Man, you know what? Sometimes when you're fulfilling your visions, the challenges may seem so big that all you have is faith. Faith is your confidence to know that everything is temporary. This too shall pass. So he helps him up. Right? So Michael Beckwith, we go to Agape Spiritual Center in LA. The theme for January was simply move. What's that mean? Faith without action is death. Is dead. All you got to do is take a step. That's all you got to do is take one step out of the boat. Man, and then God in the universe, God can direct us. So I have a few questions for you. Are you ready? What step do you need to take today? One step. Simply move. What step have you been afraid of taking that if I just take one small step, one step out of the boat, that you can walk on water? If you just took one step, would you allow God, would you surrender yourself and your ego and your fear to allow a miracle to take place? And guess who's going to think it's a miracle? Is it going to be you, or is it everybody that's watching us? Because that's our purpose, to show other people that we're conscious of our divinity, right? And miracles are our life. Okay? Do you expect miracles? Now guess what? Last thing, you don't have to know how, but are you willing to take the first step? That's it. One step. One step towards your vision. Hey gang, all of these principles come out of You're More Powerful Than You Think. Go to Amazon, go to YourMorePowerful.com, go to Audible. So my question is, what step can we take today? I already have mine in my mind. Do you have yours in my mind? If we take one step every day, then you'll see miracles in your life. Please comment and share this all over the world. There's 7 billion people in the world that if they take one step today, we can actually change the consciousness of humanity. Let's do it together. Take a step. All right, gang. See you next week.